Hello, on Wednesday the 7th of March 2012. It's another United Kingdom talk. My name's Chris Reardon, and I seem to be gathering a lot of programmes on my hard disk recorder, waiting to be watched at the moment. Have you got one of those? Well, it's filling up rather rapidly. I'm going to have to stop recording stuff soon because I'm running out of space on there. Particular programmes that I absolutely love at the moment, and I seem to be watching a lot of television at the moment, are the wonderful reincarnation of Upstairs, Downstairs on BBC One on Sunday nights. It's just fantastic. I love it. Period drama. We absolutely love Upstairs, Downstairs. Another programme I like, Sun, Sea and Suspicious Parents. Okay, now this is the programme about they choose two teenagers, usually a boy and a girl, sometimes two boys and two girls, completely separate people they are. And what it is they go, and they're quite young, so around about 18, 19 years old, something like that. And they go on holiday thinking that they are going on their first holiday on their own. And indeed, for 1 week, they go to somewhere, maybe, and it's one of those places where all the young people go on holiday, like Ibiza or Ayia Napa, somewhere like that, right? So they have this holiday and they get up there and it shows you what they get up to. And quite frankly, I mean, I went on holiday when I was actually probably not my 18, but when I was about 23, 24, 25, I used to go on holiday with a friend or two, and I never used to get up to the things that these young people get up to now when they're on holiday. Quite frankly, I'm jealous. I am actually I'm jealous because I absolutely wish I'd got up to the things that these people got up to on holidays. I really do. They're absolutely drunk, falling over the streets and falling over in the streets and doing all sorts of things, getting off, you know, snogging endless people in nightclubs that seem to be filled up with foam, you know, near naked people dancing on podiums, that sort of thing. And it's fantastic. And during the daytime they go out on boat rides and things like that and generally get into sort of mischief. So one of the boys the other day, he let off a fire extinguisher in someone's room, and that was quite funny. You see, I'm sorry. You see, I am forever youthful, really. I always see the funny side of these things, where other people would be going, oh, no, you really shouldn't let them do that. Oh, no, you mustn't do that. I just see the funny side of these things. I really do. Anyway, so they get up to all that, thinking that they're on their own, but their parents have actually followed them to wherever they are, and they are sneakily hiding, either behind bushes or in another room, you know, or upstairs, you know, above the club, and they're watching down on these children. And at the same time, they are being filmed for the TV show. So the kids know that the cameras are there. And at the end of the show, what happens is that the parents, that, you know, on the last day, so they'll all be sitting in a bar or something like that, and the parents will go and sort of come up behind them and tap them on the shoulder, and they turn around, and it's all very embarrassing, you know. I mean, I suppose some of it's put on, really, because the children must know that the parents are going to watch them on the television anyway, aren't they? I mean, do we see everything, you know? I mean, do we see the really shocking stuff? Maybe we don't see all of it. Maybe some of it's hidden somewhere. I must get hold of those tapes. It's lovely to see a bit of young naked flesh on the telly, isn't it, eh? Oh, sorry, that's the old perv coming out in me now, is it? It's an old perv. Anyway, so I watched that, Sun, Sea and Suspicious Parents. Enjoyed that. Nothing to Declare. I've mentioned that before. Border security, nothing to declare. It's about the Australian customs and quarantine departments and how they catch stupid people that try and that think they can beat the system by bringing in foods, because you're not allowed to bring any food at all into Australia without declaring it first. Then you declare it, and I say, right, well, you can have this, but you can't have that, and they take it off you. You can have this, but you must declare any food at all, anything that you're going to put in your mouth and eat. You have to declare that if you're going into Australia. Bag of crisps, hand it in. Apple, hand it in. Yes, I've got these things. Can I take them in? And they say, no, you can't take that. Yes, you can take that. And then that's it. That's all fine. And then that's sorted. And you go in. No fine or telling off or anything like that. But if you don't declare it, you get in terrible trouble. $220 fine. That's the lowest thing I think they give. $220 fine. Or you can be sent to court. It's very, very serious, and people just don't seem to realise how serious it is. I did do this in another show, a recent, a previous show, but they really don't seem to understand how serious it is. You know, this country is trying to keep out all the diseases that we've got every other bloody place, you know. They don't have a lot of the diseases in Australia that we have everywhere else, and they're trying to keep them out. But it's just the stupidity of the people that actually think they can beat the system. They think, you know, if they wrap it in tin foil or put a bit of carbon paper around it, then the X-ray machine can't see it. Well, it can. It can. That's not, of course, including, you know, firearms, weapons, drugs. Certain electronic gadgets aren't allowed. With one I found quite surprising. You're not allowed to bring in a laser. I think certain strengths of laser pens or pointers. You're not allowed to have one of those in your bag and bring those in the country because apparently something to do with the airplane. I'm not quite sure what that is. You're not allowed to tote those in. But people, you know, they try and bring in flick knives. One bloke had a bag full of flick knives, and he said to them he collected them. You know, and it's the way they try, even when the people have seen it go through the X-ray machine and then it's pulled off the other end and say, would you come over here, please, sir? Okay, is there anything in this bag you'd like to tell me about? We're given then the opportunity to then say, yes, well, I've got this and this and this, right? But they don't. They say, no, there's nothing in there at all. Are you sure there's nothing? No, there's nothing. And then they open the bag and there is knives and guns all over the place and packets of drugs. Idiots. Complete idiots. Why do they really think they can get away with it? All these people that hide things, you know, in between their foot and their shoe. And they think that whether or not, they must think they're the first person that has ever done this and that they couldn't possibly get caught. So stupid. And is it worth it? Well, you know, we say, is it worth it? Of course, I don't think it's worth going to prison for anything. But you see that some of the small packets that these people have, I suppose, the length and width-wise, the size of a brick, but not as thick, you know, quite thin, the size of a brick. And then they tell you that this is worth like $250,000, you know, for this small piece of drug. So Christ knows how much people pay for this stuff. You know, it's supposed to half the size of an A4 piece of paper and about, I don't know, about half a centimetre thick. And that's all drugs. And that sort of thing can be worth $250,000. So you can kind of see why they try and think that they can do it. But it just bemuses me that they actually think they can get away with it. I suppose some people do. I wonder what the sort of percentage of people getting through to people getting caught is. Because if you watch these programs, you know, you kind of think to yourself that, like, you know, almost everyone who's trying this does actually get caught. It's just amazing. So there we are. I quite like that. Nothing to declare. Border security. It's on twice a day, that one. Those of you in the UK on PIC TV. And another one of my favourite programmes on at the moment, it's back in series, Benidorm, written actually by someone I know, Darren Litton. He used to come down one of the pubs that I used to DJ in Camden Town in London. And Benidorm is so funny. It is absolutely so funny. Who's my favourite character? Well, it was the old woman in the wheelchair. She is just totally and utterly vile, isn't she? And she's always up for a fight. This woman looks on the telly about 85 years old. She's in one of those motorised scooter things, but there's nothing actually wrong with her legs. When she, serious, when she's on holiday, she says, why should I walk? I'm on holiday. And she gets one of these things, right? And she whizzes around the place like that. She's got so much orange makeup on, it's unbelievable, and her face is all lines and her hair's all over the place. And she's always smoking, she's always got a fag in her mouth. But the best thing about this character is she is vile. She is so totally and utterly vile. It's unbelievable. The other day, her daughter, was it her daughter or her daughter-in-law? I'm not quite sure. She was having a row, and the old nans, and they finished the row, and she came out, I would have ripped her head off and thrown it in the pool. She comes up with some fantastic lines. So if you haven't seen that before and you're in the UK or wherever you are in the world, try and get hold of a TV series called Benidorm. Benidorm, it's one of the funniest things ever on the telly. Now, talking of vileness, and we do like to hear a little bit of vileness now and again, can I highly recommend a podcast to you, those of you that download podcasts on the iTunes. Incidentally, this program is available on iTunes, either the audio or the video, okay? You can subscribe to either. Simply type in United Kingdom Talk to the iTunes podcast search section. All right, and you should find the audio and the video version, two separate versions of this show, and you can subscribe to either, and then it just downloads automatically whenever there is a new show. All right, and another podcast to watch out for, Steve Allen of LBC fame, one of the best presenters ever on the radio. He's just fantastic. He speaks his mind. And he likes to talk a lot about celebrities. And he runs them down. He hates most of them. As indeed I think I do, to be quite honest. He hates celebrities. And he will tell you all about them and all their dirty little dealings and everything. So highly recommend Steve Allen's free podcast. Now, you'll find, I think, two podcasts there. One that you have to pay for. But there is a free daily, Monday to Friday, half-hour podcast from Steve Allen on LBC, all right? So do try that one out. And if you do try it out, please let me know what you think. Steve Allen is spelled S-T-E-V-E and Allen, A-L-A-N. Steve Allen from I think that's right. Hang on. Do you want me to check that for you? You know what? I'm just going to check that for you. I hate to give you the wrong information because it's such a great, fantastic. I mean, he's just such a professional, that bloke. You know, can never find anything bad to say about Steve Allen because, quite frankly, there is nothing bad to say about Steve Allen. Unlike some of the others on there on LBC who I can't bear. Now, I can't find my iTunes now. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Another one I like on LBC is Anthony Davis. He's on Early Evening. Right, let's see if we can find this. Where's podcasts? I'm just looking at here it is. It's called, okay, Steve Allen. Oh, yeah, I've got the spelling wrong there. I'll see. Bloody good job I checked it. Steve Allen, S-T-E-V-E, and Allen, A-L-L-E-N. And it's called Steve Allen, A-L-L-E-N. Steve Allen, A Little Bit Extra. That's the actual title. And it's a daily, it's about 20 minutes actually. It's a daily 20-minute podcast. Fantastic and absolutely well worth the listen to. Okay, do have a go of that one. All right, in the news today, I got very, very excited in this little article in the Daily Mail yesterday, which says painful fillings could soon be nothing more than a bad memory. Oh, yeah, this has got your ears pricked up, isn't it, eh? Even the cat is downstairs listening to this story now. She really is. Experts are trialling a pain-free way dealing with rotten teeth that dispenses with the dentist's drill. This was in the Mail, as I say. It's also done without the need for the anaesthetic injection and appears to be more effective than a conventional filling. I think that's the worst part of it, isn't it, the injection? Just a little prick. Oh, I hate it. Oh, all the hairs on my neck are all standing up now. It goes on, the results of pilot studies have been so promising that the NHS has pumped £3 million into a nationwide study of this technique. Now, this is what happens. A new technique for removing decay in teeth could also help remove the fear of going to dentist for millions of people. The bad news is, I got so excited reading this, and then it got to this. The bad news is, for the moment at least, it's only suitable for milk teeth. And so for children rather than adults. Oh, duh. You got all excited then, didn't you? Eh? Anyway, under this technique, right, no effort is made to remove the decayed part of the tooth. Okay, so there's no drilling, nothing like that. They say, oh, there's a bit of delay there. Instead, a metal crown is simply slipped over the tooth and cemented into place. And it says no anaesthetic is needed, and starved of bacteria and oxygen, the decay stops or slows down to such a rate that it doesn't cause any pain. But as I say, the bad news is it only works on children's milk teeth, so that's a shame. The crown then stays in place until it falls out naturally with the tooth at around the age of 10. So just a shame about that. Maybe maybe they'll find, maybe they will be able to use that on adult teeth. That would be nice, wouldn't it, eh? Actually managing to go to the dentist and not have any fillings. Oh, I'd like that. One of the biggest cons I've always thought was hiring a television in hospital. Now, even when my dad was in hospital, and I'm going back, when he had a stroke, I'm going back here about 25 years, I think they were charging something like £15 a week to hire a television. And at that time, you could probably buy a portable television for about £100 at that time. And I said, well, why don't we just bring in the telly? And my dad, he said, no, it's all right, just bring that one along. I don't think, years ago, you used to be able to take your own portable TV into a hospital, but I don't think you're allowed to do that because of all this old electrical testing crap that they come out with today. Or they can't have that there. It's not been electrically tested. What a load of old crap. What a load of old crap. It's giving other people business. That's what it's all about. Anyway, a story again. I think this was in the Mail yesterday. It was either in the Mail or on the BBC website. Hospital patients forced to pay £10 a day to watch TV when prisoners just pay £1 a week. Hospital patients are being forced to fork out £10 a day to watch television programmes. The cost of packages in some hospitals has more than doubled in 6 years, prompting a health watchdog to warn that expensive prices have put them out of the reach of the poorest people needing care. It's outrageous, isn't it? £10 a day to hire a bloody television. You can buy. Okay, so you might not be allowed one of those portable tellies are nowhere near the size that they were anymore anyway. They're more like computer monitors, aren't they? They're quite small. You can buy these flat screen tellies. I've seen them in Asda just after Christmas for, I think it was £79. So you've only got to be in hospital sort of for a week and you've paid for this telly anyway. Why hire one? But I bet you wouldn't be allowed to. But you can get little battery ones as well, can't you? Little battery televisions that you could have with it. I wouldn't pay £10 a day for a telly, would you? It's outrageous. The story goes on to say, Jacques Pierce Gervais, who chairs Watchdog Patient Voice, said, I think it's pretty mean. Patients who are in there for a long time will spend a lot of money on this. Well, they're stupid then. They're stupid. Send one of your family out to go and buy yourself one of these little portable battery TVs. You'll probably get an adapter for it as well and plug. How much? I'm going to have a look now. I'm going to have a look. Look. Small, what should we call it? Small battery TV. Let's have a look. Oh, hang on, that's not gone in. Wait a minute. Small battery TV. There we are, straight away. Small buy TV. Oh, Amazon. Yeah, here we are. 17-inch. Here we are. Oh no, 7-inch hand. Oh, it's America. Why does that come as America? Oh, let me put UK. Just a minute. Amazon handheld TVs. Have you got this here? Here we are. Ah, look. 7-inch TV gets Freeview. Oh, it's a recorder as well. TV recorder, high capacity built-in battery. From new, £74.99. Right? Or you can get a bigger one, 10-inch one, £158. Or a used one, £114. It's not bad, is it? Is it? I don't know. How big is a 4.3 inch? Would that be about 1, 2, 3? Actually, a 4.3 inch would do it, wouldn't it? 4.1. What's that? 1, 2, 3. It's about 4 inches. You know, if you're sitting in a hospital bed, then that would be all right, wouldn't it? I wouldn't pay £10 a day just for television. Don't they have television rooms still in hospitals? I just remember the television rooms in hospitals. Do you? Years ago, and you could smoke, couldn't you? You could. Yes, you could. You could smoke in the television room at the end of your ward. Oh, and you used to go in this room. Oh, God's sake! Clouds of smoke in this place. There really was. You couldn't breathe through people who were in there with all sorts of diseases, including cancer, who were in this room smoking their heads off. The story goes on to say, again, Jackie Peirce Gervais says, it's making money out of the vulnerable. Yes, it is. Expensive. Watching television from your hospital bed costs up to £10 a day. Oh, dear me. That is just shocking. That is just shocking. It really is. I think my friend, when my friend Ron was last in hospital, he usually spends a couple of weeks in hospital each year. It's just that he's tired and he doesn't want. He gets free electricity and food for a week. That's why he does it. I think. I do. Last time he was in hospital, it was swine flu. He had swine flu for a few. I don't think there was anything wrong with him, to be honest. Just coughing and spluttering, anything to get a hospital bed, and he had a private room and all. Yeah. Swine flu. I had to go with a mask on and everything when I went to visit him. It was all very exciting, really. It's like something out of a science fiction film. Anyway, there we are. Have you? I wonder if you've been to a hospital and experienced these exorbitant fees, you know, to hire a television. I know when Ron was in there, there was it's like this flat screen thing. There was a television on there. There was the internet, and it was a phone, all on this one unit. I mean, I suppose these things cost quite a lot of money to install, but it still seems an awful lot of money. £10 a day if you're sick. There are not many people. Sorry, there are plenty of people that could nowhere near afford that £10 a day, could they? How do they? You know, if you're in there for a couple of weeks, well, that's 140 quid. 140 quid and watch the telly. The TV licence is only another 20 or 30 quid more than that. God's sake. Your thoughts on that, please. My email address is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Hello to Phil Huckley. Hello, Phil. Who says, I loved your comments on my last letter. Gave me a good laugh. But, oh, it's one of those, is it? Oh, dear. It's a but. It's one of those buts. I hate that, don't you? But I've caught you out. For entertainment at work, I thought I'd wind back the clock and watch some of your earlier shows on Thursday the 7th of January, and I got a shock. As you seem to tell everyone, you are a vegetarian. Yes, I am. You and Ronny. Well, what did you say I have to eat? A meat known as a carvery? No, you idiots. I didn't say me and Ronny. Go and watch it again. Do you know, I've got a good mood, good mind, not to read the rest of this email on, because you've already made an error. You have made an error already, Phil Huckley, at O2, wherever you are. I said I was a vegetarian. Ronny is not a vegetarian. He eats chickens and tunas, and he doesn't eat red meat. Chicken and tuna, that's all he eats. Chicken and tuna. He does make me laugh. If I'm round his house and we decide to get one of those order-out pizzas, I say, you know, it's like, should we get a pizza in? And yeah, you say, yeah, all right then. I said, well, just order me my usual, you know, cheese and tomato. Or I might have cheese and tomato. If I'm feeling a bit adventurous that day, I might have cheese, tomato, and pineapple on top. And then sometimes even sweet peppers. I don't like not those. What are those really hot things that you have on pizza? Oh, they're vile. And you bite into one, and your mouth is on fire, isn't it? What are the Al Pacinos or something like that? What are they called? I don't know what they are. Little round things. They're vile. Christ, blow your blooming head off, they do. Anyway, so I'll give him a... And then he will get out... He will then get out the menu, right, and spend 15 minutes looking at this bloody menu, trying to... He can't decide what pizza... Just order the pizza. Oh, it does annoy me. He sits there, you know, and then an hour passes while he's still looking, can't decide, what one shall I have? I mean, surely you know what pizza you want. Oh, it's different sorts. Just tell him. Ring up the... I'll have and then he'll end up ordering like a chicken pizza. After looking through this list. Come on, lads. I bet you've got wives and girlfriends like that, haven't you? They sit there and they study this. It's a pizza, dear. There's only so much you can put on the top of a bloody pizza. He sits there looking at this menu, and then he turns the... And I'm like pulling my hair out here, thinking, just order the pizza. And it's the same when you go into a restaurant with him. He has to look through the whole menu before he decides. And then he has the same thing that he had last time. It's one of those, you know. I go in there, I know what I want straight away. Yeah, I know. I sit down, and I see the menu, and I really can't be bothered to look through that menu. Do you do lasagna? Vegetarian lasagna? Well, I'll have one of those, please. You know, I barely sat down. Sometimes I've not actually put my bum. I haven't put my arse onto the chair before I've like, can I order now, please? Oh, and she comes running over, you know. I always trying to get you the drinks first. Do you want drinks? No, I want to order the food, please. Oh, what would you like, sir? I'll have a vegetarian lasagna, or I'll have what's that other thing that I had the last time? It was very nice, vegetarian. It's like lasagna. I can't remember what it's called now. What's that called now? Don't know. Anyway, or vegetarian cottage pie. There's this place up near my sister. She does the wonderful vegetarian cottage pie. Lots of lentils in it. I've never actually cooked with lentils myself. Do you do lentils? Do you do those? You know, in place of mincemeat, that sort of thing. So there we are. Sorry, I've come right away from this email, haven't I? It says, veggie, yeah, okay, just recently. So what changed your mind to become a veggie? I watched lots of films about animals being killed, and it was all very sad, and that's why I became a vegetarian. Okay? It's as simple as that. Some of the way these animals treated is just shocking. Absolutely shocking, and I don't want a part of it. So that's why I became a vegetarian. No meat must be killed to satisfy my and their poor little faces. What happens to all these little animals' faces? You know, you only got to look at a film at cows in the garden, how placid they are, and sheep and things like and goats. Oh, what's the one I watched? Kill It, Cook It, Eat It. I watched this the other night, and it was little baby goats that were being killed to satisfy people's stomachs. It was horrible. Oh, Ronny doesn't like sheep and goats. He's scared of them. Honest. Ronny is scared, my best mate is scared of sheep and goats. He said they lull you into a false sense of security by being all soft and free, and then they come up and barge you. Oh dear. He says, anyway, you say about the animals' faces, if they're going to be done in for food, just think, if fruit and veg had a face and voice box, they would scream when you took a bite into them. Everything we eat lives at some point. Oh, come on, you can't compare the two. Don't be bloody stupid, Phil. How can you compare an apple to a cow? Eh? You can't. The fact is, fruit and veg don't have faces and mouths. They don't scream when you eat them. They're a different thing altogether. He said, did you ever get the Wii Fit? I did get the Wii Fit. I've had it about 2 years now, and it sits in its box downstairs. It's only used once. Complete and utter waste of money. He said, your sister had a good go at Christmas when you were there. I wonder whether to get one for my family. If you did get one, are you still using it, or was it a 5-minute wonder? It was absolutely a 5-minute wonder, and it's sitting in the box downstairs. It really is. I did just no interest in it at all. And I really shouldn't buy computer games. They don't interest me at all. They do nothing for me at all, whether it's keeping me fit or just shooting people dead. And, you know, like my nephew likes that Call of Duty game thing that he plays. He says, I went a bit over your head with a megahertz bit on ham radio. Just briefly, your CB works on the 27 megahertz waveband. Yes, I know that. I mentioned ham operators do have to do Morse code to use bands below 50 meg. They are simply frequency ranges which hams are allowed to use. Hi-Fi radio example works on 88 to 108. Yes, I know the Radio 2 jingle. 88 to 91 FM. This is Radio 2 from the BBC. It's 9 o'clock. It's Colin Berry with the latest news. He says, I think you have mentioned CB 934 megahertz, which is no longer in use in the UK. That's right. I think this weekend I'll rig up an aerial to see if there are any CBers around here still. Think I'll go and have a carvery now, just to do with a nice meaty meal. And that's from Phil. So Phil, you must have set up, your CB radio aerial by now. Did you set it up? And if so, were there many people on it? Do let me know. Email address chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. One more email today from the lovely American Cutie Pie. Because I'm not sure that these... I've got a couple of gold stars on the wall behind me. I don't think they work. I'm not quite sure they work. I think they look a bit tacky, don't you? I mean, I am possibly the king of tack. She says, I think you should wear one of the gold stars on the front of your shirt like the UK... Have I got one? Oh, there's one here. Like the UK star celebrity you are. Thank you, American Cutie Pie. I meant to show you this, actually. It's all very disappointing. You remember that orchid that had the 8 flowers on it that hang around for months? These 8 flowers were on there for months. Well, I'm afraid, guys, look. Oh. The plant just actually came completely out of the pot. I wonder what that is. My orchid now only has 2 pink flowers left. It's all very disappointing, really. Anyway, that's it for the show today. Thanks so much for watching and listening. My email address, if you want to comment or join in, anything you want to say at all, is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. I'll see you on the next show. Bye-bye.